ABC 24 News starts right now with breaking news.
And breaking right now on ABC 24 News at 6, a student rushed to the hospital after being shot in a stairwell this morning at Cummings K-8 Optional School in South Memphis. But first, here are 3 things to know right now. The 13-year-old student was shot around 9:15 this morning and rushed to LeBonner Children's Hospital in critical condition. He is out of surgery and doctors say will make a full recovery. Police say the shooter was another 13-year-old student. Investigators say he originally left the school after the shooting in an unknown vehicle before turning himself in. They expect to charge him with attempted first-degree murder. And administrators with Shelby County Schools say Cummings will be open for classes tomorrow. Brad Broders was one of the first reporters on the scene this morning. He starts us off tonight in South Memphis. And Brad, Cummings is in the heart of that neighborhood. Stacks Academy, a Lemoyne College, just a few blocks away. And the community really rallied today. Break it down for us.
Yeah, Richard, a lot of rallying going on here in this South Memphis community around Cummings K-8 Optional School. As you just mentioned, the school will be open for classes tomorrow, but at a news conference a short while ago, SES Superintendent Dr. Joris Ray said there will be additional security and additional counseling services. Dr. Ray said while he's very thankful that 13-year-old student shot earlier today is expected to recover, he's also disgusted this school in the heart of South Memphis became the latest school in around the country to deal with gun violence within a school's walls. Now, this is video minutes after that shooting earlier this morning. Arn Walker just outside of Cummings K-8 Optional School. We are told students and staff at Cummings completed an active shooter drill earlier this month, just a couple of weeks ago. Still many outstanding questions this hour, including how that student brought the weapon into the school building and how the gun got into his hands in the first place. Shelby County Commissioner McKell Lowry, who represents this section of South Memphis, said he plans to address bulking up school security at SES schools at the board's next meeting.
Unfortunately, for some of our officers, it's not a wake-up call, it's I told you so. They've been telling us this from the past. We need more resources. We need more things from SROs. We need to make sure we're supporting the school board. And we're doing that. But now we need to take this to another level and say, what other resources can we put in schools? What funding can we do to make sure it doesn't happen again, at least to our best of our ability?
Now, despite that gun making it inside the school building at Cummings K-8 Optional School this morning, we are told by SES leaders there was a metal detection search this morning on campus. That is common procedure for all of the middle school age students in that K-8 school. Also this afternoon, just outside in this area, I spoke with a SES social worker. She's been in the district 28 years, and she told me she can never remember a time that was so traumatic in the aftermath of a shooting inside a school building during school hours. That social worker said she expects counseling will be needed for not only the students, but parents for several weeks. Because again, Richard, we are talking about students as young as 5 years old who were in that school building in the moments after that shooting. Reporting live in South Memphis, I'm Brad Broders reporting.
Thank you, Brad. Yeah, a wide age range at that K-8 school. We're going to delve into that a little bit later on. It is worth repeating, Cummings is a K-8 school, so when the bullets flew this morning, it affected kindergartners and first graders, as well as had to be among the hundreds evacuated for safety reasons. Everyone bused to a nearby church until family could pick them up. In fact, the church where Brad Broders is tonight. Jenny DePrizio continues our team coverage now and says many parents were understandably frantic today.
It's quiet here now, but about 6 hours ago, the church steps here were filled with parents waiting to be reunited with their children. Janora Tucker's grandchildren were the first students to be released at the church.
I'm very happy to have my grandbabies. I wish the safety for all of the children. I'm sorry that this even happened. It's just the type of world that we live in, and I pray for everyone.
The stairs outside the church were full of anxious parents in line, waiting in the rain to get their children.
As a parent, very irritated and frustrated. They've had us going back and forth from the back to the front. They're telling us one thing and then 5 minutes later telling us something else. We've been standing out here for almost an hour now, and none of us have gotten our kids. We don't know what's going on.
This mother says her son is best friends with the student who was shot, and her son was visibly upset.
I'm not pointing fingers, but because there's enough blame to go around. But this could have been avoided. If you see something, say something. If you know something, tell someone.
Superintendent Joris Ray and school board members rushed to the church to assess the situation. They're concerned about the students and the toll this will take on them emotionally.
That's what we have to work on now, is making sure that the children who were not physically injured and having to deal with this, that they will be concerned and cared for through the social and emotional support that they need.
One school board member said if this all seemed chaotic today, well, it was. However, she said in this case, the school's emergency plan worked. In South Memphis, I'm Jenny DePrizio.
Several community leaders releasing statements in response to this school shooting. Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris said today a child has been critically injured from a gunshot wound while in school. We pray for the victim of this most recent shooting and all the young people who face this unthinkable trauma. We also pray for the wisdom and courage needed to begin to curb gun violence. And the Memphis City Council also took to Twitter saying, we are devastated to hear about the events at Cummings Elementary. It's actually a K-8 school. Our thoughts and prayers are with all the students, faculty, and parents. School board members were among those rushing to Cummings School today after the shooting, and one of them happened to mention the district had just finished active shooter training, preparing for a day just like this one.
Had an active shooter training for all of our school personnel on October 2nd. So September 2nd, I'm sorry. So timely to what has happened here today. Our schools personnel and administrators were prepared so that we could make sure our students were safe.
One more statement from an elected official tonight, this from Senator Rameshek Berry. She says, I am grateful for the fast-acting school staff members and first responders who work to keep our children safe today, and we are praying for this child to make a full recovery. The shooting at Cummings is just so gut-wrenching. It appears a child who should never have had access to a firearm has shot another child. Preventable gun violence like this traumatizes every student, teacher, and staff member in the school family. And as a community, we must say never again. Of course, everyone agrees with the senator. The challenge for all of us is how are we going to make that happen, right? Well, today's school shooting is a traumatic event for anyone, especially children. Child psychologists say it's important to be supportive of your child. Since this shooting happened at a K-8 building, children at various stages of emotional and social development will react differently. It can disrupt their feeling of safety and security, which is most important for emotional growth. A child trauma counselor at Le Bonheur explains what developmental changes a child may experience after dealing with this kind of traumatic event.
You may see an abrupt change in their mood for younger children, especially children who are in distress or maybe experiencing some anxiety as a result of this event. They could possibly regress in their development, so such as increased bedwetting, clinginess, and also you may see an increased level of tantrums from children.
K-8 schools are not uncommon. Is it really best for young children to be attending the same school as much older kids, or should they be split up? We ask a former school board member about that, a trauma counselor, in fact, tonight at 10. We're here with you and for you as we cover tonight's breaking news. We're going to keep you updated on this shooting, both on air and online. You can download our ABC 24 app for push alerts. It's free and it's in your app store.